Senator Cory Booker of New Jersey is now echoing the very same type of sentiment that was previously offered by Representative Maxine Waters. Watch.
Before I end, that's my call to action here. Please don't just come here today and then go home. Go to the Hill today. Get up and please get up in the face of some Congress people.
Get up in the face of some Congress people? That's quite the call to action. And Maxine Waters, by the way, is still making the same request. In an interview with CNBC's John Harwood, she said, and I quote, "I think Trump is dangerous, and I don't know why people take it. I think Americans should be out in the streets screaming to the top of their voice. Do something, make something happen," end quote. This is what confuses me about the left, because they don't understand the process, and they literally, apparently, I mean, just as evidenced here, think that the best way to cause change in America is to scream and throw a tantrum. Remember the much maligned Tea Party? Now, they had different ideas. The Tea Party had protests and had signs, but it was never ever about getting in someone's face or physically confronting someone. There was no call to do anything except go door to door, or maybe perhaps phone bank, or even run for office yourself. Because do something is vague, and that can be interpreted by this insane society in a million different kinds of ways. Now, we called for action at the ballot box, had huge protests in part to allow people who sought office to come before all of the people assembled and explain why we should support them. And when those people came and spoke, we weren't just looking for oppose Obama. People wanted plans. We wanted solutions, and we offered solutions based around ideas rooted in conviction. I mean, we organized, we educated, we made our case, we listened to people that wanted to lead to see if they would and should. And we didn't throw chairs or through windows or set businesses on fire, nor did we pretend that being loud and angry was any type of solution. These so-called actions from the likes of, or these call to actions from the likes of Booker and Waters, I mean, what does that solve? I mean, are you calling for more of that, of what you see in that video? Is that what you're asking for? I mean, sure, 99 people will hear it simply as some kind of call to go out and scream through a bullhorn, but I'm a little bit more worried about that one individual who hears it as a call to something else. And just also, what does that do for civil discourse? I mean, taking that aside, what are you asking in terms of civil discourse? If you're saying just go out and get up in someone's face, or as Maxine Waters was saying, make someone feel uncomfortable in their own country, what is this doing for civil discourse and the idea that we exchange ideas here in the United States? Like taking a bat to teenagers at a conservative conference, or threatening senators and their families, or showing up at a baseball field with a gun to finally do something. I don't believe words are violence. I don't believe that if a violent person chooses to interpret innocuous comments as a call to violence, it means the person that spoke said words is responsible. But what I do believe is that people in positions of power, our elected officials, should think about the power of their words and think maybe, perhaps, about who might be listening. How about just adding in words like, and always peacefully and never violently, when you tell people to, quote, get into their faces? Would that be so incredibly hard? I mean, what is so difficult about having a peaceful and civil exchange of ideas? It shouldn't be tough at all. But unfortunately, we have really pretty poor leadership here, apparently. I mean, we've seen this. And by the way, this wasn't just in the age of Trump. I know that that's an excuse that everyone likes to use. I mean, we saw this even under Barack Obama. We saw this with the Occupy folks. We saw this even with the Black Bloc folks who, for whatever reason, decided they had to cover their faces here in the United States of America as a way to make themselves look more badass. But it didn't have that effect because, you know, it's just really difficult to march around with your faces covered in True Religion jeans while you bust up the windows of storefronts that you normally visit when your face isn't covered. No, this isn't protected speech, and it's not peaceful discourse, and nobody has ever been persuaded by violence, nor have they ever been persuaded by bullying. But the people that you will persuade are the people who want to get as far away from those sorts of ideas as possible. No, the people you will persuade are voters who will vote against the things that you're professing, not just in midterms, but also in 2020.